Hi everyone. I'm going to present what I have investigated on this dataset, estimating time with different music playing from Oberlin College, using linear regression for categorical predictors with two levels. To help your better understanding, I've added images that represents three different settings in this observational study. So the study provided 20 subjects, three different settings. First, silence control. Second, Bach's calm song. And David Guetta's upbeat song. And they were asked to judge when 45 seconds had passed in each setting. The order in which three settings were provided was randomized for each participant. These three settings become indicators. Therefore, I had to use specifically linear regression for categorical predictors with two levels. And in this white chart, you can see there are total 6 variables in this data set. There are two classifications, categorical nominal and numeral discrete. I'm going to exclude subject variable because it only indicates there are 20 subjects. The main one that I'm going to focus in this presentation is music that has 3 categories. And as my response variable, it's going to be accuracy variable. My question of interest asks if there is any categorical variable which predicts the response variable's accuracy value well among all categorical nominal variables. On the right side of this slide, you can see some results from project 1, IQR and median in increasing order each. You can notice upbeat category has the smallest IQR and median values. So this made me think there may be possibility that upbeat song is more helpful in estimating time accurately than control in silence. And this is why I chose this same data set from my project 1 for project 2. I used box plots to find where the median is, how the variance looks like, and if there is any outliers in each categories of the explanatory variable music. I found one outlier in calm category, and I excluded it and ran simulation-based testing. It does affect the slope value as well as correlation and p-values. However, it does not affect them enough to change my hypothesis testing result. So I decided not to exclude it. I had to make 2 cases because the linear regression for categorical predictors with 2 levels allows only 2 levels. So I pair calm with control, and I'm gonna call it A case. I paired control with upbeat, and I'm gonna call it B case. For both cases, the null hypothesis is the same. The slope is 0. For A, my alternative hypothesis says the slope would be positive because calm's median value was much higher than control's. And finally, for my B case, the alternative hypothesis says the slope is going to be negative because upbeat's median and IQR were the smallest among 3 categories, so I thought these were quite reasonable. Okay, so this slide reveals everything, every result from both cases. So let's look at the A case where I paired calm with control. As I expected, the slope is positive, and it's acceptable to use two-sided values. So the 0.19 is much smaller than 0.05. We can also see R squared value is 0.14. In B case, as I expected, the slope turned out to be negative. However, it's very close to 0. On top of that, the p-value is much greater than 0.05, and R squared value is almost 0. So in B case, I have failed to reject the null hypothesis. So I'm going to hide that to show you what the result is from simulation-based testing for A case. It confirmed that the slope is positive and the same value, 9.45, and a similar p-value, which is 0.017. So far, we can tell there is a positive linear relationship between control and calm categories in A case. So yes, there is a set of two indicator variables, calm and control, of the categorical variable music with a correlation coefficient about 0.37. But R squared value was 0.14, which also confirms that the relationship is very weak in predicting accuracy. Other categorical nominal variables here, sex and music BG, they had same R square value, that is about 0.08, which is also close to 0. So in conclusion, all indicator variables of explanatory variables have a weak strength of linear relationship. Therefore, my conclusion is that it is very difficult to say that I found any set of indicator variables of categorical variables that well predicts accuracy values in this data set. And I think additionally that this conclusion indirectly implies that in this data set of total 60 observations among 3 different settings, only calm music differently affected 20 participants in estimating when 45 seconds have passed. This may be confirmed by using another method, such as ANOVA's pairwise comparisons. For example, treating 3 categories of music variable as independent variables to determine which one's mean is really different. But we might need 40 more participants since one factor ANOVA needs different populations, and we should check for similar variance of each 20 observations in each setting. Thank you for watching and have a great day.